Hey guys, and welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Spotlight with me, Layah Heilpern, the show where we speak to entrepreneurs, innovators, and thought leaders in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. Joining me today is Salbego, the founder, CEO, and the art director of AnRKey X. AnRKey X is the first to merge DeFi, eSports, gamification, and NFTs, creating a whole new industry called eSports. So guys, if you enjoyed this segment, then don't forget to hit the like button and let us know in the comment section below who you want us to interview next week and which topics you want us to cover. JD, welcome to Altcoin Buzz Spotlight. How are you doing?
Awesome. Extremely tired. I'm on 2 hours of sleep, the fourth night in a row right now, but couldn't be more happy, excited, and grateful.
Damn, 2 hours of sleep. That is not a lot. Hopefully we can get through this and keep the energy up, essentially.
It's all right. I got an interview right after, and an AMA tonight, so busy schedule right now for our company.
Just pushing through. Okay, well, I want to hear about the company. So tell me where the idea came from and how you actually landed on the name AnRKey X, and give us a little bit of background around it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a storyteller by nature and an artist. You know, most people in this industry see me as just kind of like an influencer. I speak around the world all the time, was big in the ICO days, did investment banking and crypto for many years. But I actually am an artist from, the time I was born. I still have a mural up back in LA at home. I was an artist most of my life with design and urban graffiti and stuff like that, urban art, and then moved as I was a musician, moved into the music business in Hollywood, working with celebrities and stuff like that, which I have some exciting stuff I'm going to share because of this company that most people in this industry don't know all the stuff that I used to do, in the music, content, entertainment world, and movies and stuff. So I have a big background in content marketing, interactive game stuff. This came not because it's interesting because I left the art world about 7 years ago, and like that we say in the US, if you let it go and it comes back, it was meant to be. Well, that literally happened. I don't really do art or music anymore. I was in the music and entertainment business for 16 years straight, right? I was Snoop Dogg's head engineer when I was 21, became a music producer, actually an artist too, toured with LMFAO, have been on TV as a music producer and an artist, and let it go, whatever, moved into tech, loved it in crypto. This came purely out of loving NFTs and then also seeing the DeFi liquidity, boom happening, but also the amazing, technology and its nascence, like with Uniswap and those algos and logic behind the automated market making. But I saw no use case. I saw zero use case in farming, but a beautiful kind of technology with nowhere to go, right? And NFTs have been problems from the jump. Most people don't really pay attention to it. CryptoKitties blew because of the ICO boom in Ethereum, but literally they are not scalable. They have no true economic supply and demand. There's a number of other things we can get into. You can look online and some of our documentation of what the pain points we're solving on those. That's how this came about, was trying to solve problems with NFTs as well as liquidity mining, giving a use case. And somehow I ended up through about 3 months of research and development with another analyst, that's a true story, in stealth mode before actually finalizing the concept and then starting to architecture. I came up designing a whole game basically in NFTs and being a game producer, back doing art every single day. Everything you see, I've either designed personally myself or led our in-house design team and other third parties. We are a true game and NFT design studio. Everything you see is pretty much in-house or partners that are like in-house. Our game studios, everything, animators, you name it. So I'm doing art all day, which that's where that saying comes back. It's hilarious to me. Like it came back. I guess it's meant to be, right? It was by accident that I ended up doing this. I just wanted to solve problems.
Yeah.
That's it. And
Yeah.
that was it.
No, absolutely. I think we also have a similar sort of saying in the UK, if it's meant to be, it is meant to be if it comes back. So that's really interesting. And there's a lot you mentioned there. So I do want to get to talking about, I guess, I don't know whether I'd call it a juxtaposition between the two things that you do, but I don't know what I'd call it. Maybe it's kind of just something which you wouldn't usually put together, right? Putting art and, your background as an artist with tech, essentially, which kind of makes sense nowadays because NFTs are such a big thing. So that's quite an interesting mix, which is sort of almost meant to be, if that makes sense.
True. Yeah. Well, if you look, we just released our light paper today. We've actually had a white paper for 2 months done. We just will never release that because it's very proprietary. And the DeFi industry has gotten so scammy, it's like almost cool to steal. So we're the only company who will never release a white paper. But you can see we've been very successful so far because of our notoriety of our team, the level of stuff we're putting out, and but it's not a juxtaposition actually. If like back to the light paper where you literally just dropped 2 hours ago, go look at our Twitter. Blockchain's biggest use case and first use case was gaming, truly, back in the early 2000s, and even with cryptography. And then we really get into DNA. I'm a super nerd. I might look maybe a little bit more, maybe I think I'm cool and I don't look that cool, but I might look like I'm not like that, but I'm such a nerd. Like, game theory is all based on evolution. Our all evolution in DNA is based on game theory completely. So the juxtaposition, I don't see it as much maybe in your question because it's a natural evolution. First of all, video games are built purely on technology. We can't have incredible video games without the technology, including that's moved into immersive experiences in VR. And then obviously then with the NFTs, because, blockchain just solves, what I see blockchain is the third stage of innovation. The first thing was the computer chip. Second was the internet, which didn't solve, was all its glory did not solve one huge problem, and that is the transfer of value, which opened up an incredible market for people to make money, intermediaries, Swift, settlement companies, right? But then they ended up controlling and manipulating the market just like the central banks do. But that's what blockchain does. It transfers value in a secured way, in a transparent way, and distributes it, which is basically just like DNA. That's a whole other world if you guys want to go into that. So that's how I think the art and the digital and the technology came together. It's a very big natural progression. And NFTs and gaming is literally the best use case almost because, especially with games, now 99% of the games now are freemium model. Almost 100% of the game revenue is all based on in-game items. And almost 100% of that goes back straight to the game. You know what I mean? And not the users. So hence this, a lot of the great stuff that the NFTs have been providing. The only problem is all the games that have tried to use it. That's all. We could talk forever. I don't want to take this a half an hour on this one thing. Read our documentation. You'll understand the solutions that we provide and the problems why NFTs have not scaled. Which is one of the biggest things with us is our derived base value, which is based upon our automated economic logic theory that the whole game is based upon.
Yeah, so, I think when we look at the development of technology and the development of blockchain, that kind of use case, that artistic use case definitely sort of comes into its own play as technology seems to develop. You mentioned virtual reality there, and I guess that's not something we were necessarily looking at 10 years ago. But you mentioned everything is done in-house, so you guys are a startup. How efficiently can you get everything done?
Well, you see this, I'm drinking two because I drink so much coffee. I have to drink water. I do about 20-25 cups a day and I don't sleep. We get it done because we work just incessantly. It's absolutely bananas right now. You can ask my team. Everyone's just dying. Literally, I went to the hospital 2 weeks ago to do this test on my stomach because my acid ingestion is so bad from being overworked, drinking coffee. I'm not joking.
You need to be careful.
So this thing hopefully is going to be successful and I won't die before it happens. We're very efficient, we operate not like the normal crypto company. Some of them more in the US are very efficient, but a lot of them outside are not. Crypto brings in a lot of just crazy idiots and they're not run very efficiently. I know this from firsthand experience for being in this industry for years and, being advisors or running companies from other founders. I ran tons of companies in Asia. I became like the American kind of white, even though I'm Latin, I'm Italian and Cuban, descent, but the Asian expert. And yeah, we run it very efficiently. So we have a really big internal team. The management team is about, for a startup, about four with about 4 advisors, about 5 different team members running most of the biggest countries in Asia, because that's our big market. They are there, grounds on. We're already localized there. We have China partners and Japan media partners, so we're already localized there. We have content being translated in both of those languages. We'll move on to the rest of the territories when we see fit. Our game studio, we're partnered with Waypoint. They produced and worked with companies on games for Pokemon, Terminator, Sony, you name it. Our devs, our head devs, our Goldman Sachs and a bunch of other big companies, and between us, we compiled the best team of other blockchain devs that consistently work with companies like Mercedes, Disney, Walmart, and all that stuff. We have a very stellar team of just the best of the best. It's another saying, right? We all love sayings like, how do you become successful? Well, you work or hang out with people either as smart as you or smarter. Most times, it's better to hang out with smarter people, right? And that's what I do.
Yeah,
I
I
align
totally
myself
agree
with,
with you.
especially because really now that I'm doing art, I don't want to do shit. Excuse my language. You can bleep that out. I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to be the CEO sometimes. Literally, I want to get locked in my office and do art all day. And that's what I focus on most of the days, other than running the company, is product. Because we have literally NFT designing, 1 hour. The next thing goes into game interface. We build on Unity, which is like the industry standard for gaming. So we have all the UI and the graphics and the 3D graphics of the game. Then we go back into the game development. Then we have all the marketing collateral being designed. And I just want to focus on product. I honestly want to say, unfortunately and fortunately, I'm the founder and CEO. So, but heavy is the head that wears the crown, as they say, right? So, it really just comes down to I'm doing art again, and that's all I want to do. It's hilarious, I'm just like, everyone leave me alone, but I can't. Running like, we have like 7 different departments or more
Yeah, I
at the
mean, I
company, and
think, yeah, I'm just going to jump in. I'm just going to jump in. I think, you got to do what you love. I think that's really important. What I will say is make sure to take a break, because if you're ending up in hospital, then this is not good. You need to, maybe like one less coffee might be.
Well, it would be a great story, right? Like,
No, it
everyone loves
wouldn't.
Nirvana, but Nirvana and Sublime got as big as they did because both the lead singers died of heroin overdoses. They got bigger when they died. So maybe AnRKey X will just blow up to become bigger when I die and leave, and someone will take it over.
Is that what
Bad
you
joke,
want,
I know.
though? Is that what you want?
No, no,
No,
no.
no, no, no.
No. Don't worry, you don't have to call any numbers. I'm not suicidal. That was just a joke.
Okay. Okay, well, there you go. So, okay, I think we can agree. Maybe like one
What
less coffee.
what interviewee has ever dropped suicidal
I don't
in an
know.
interview, right? I think
I
I'm
don't
the
know.
first.
Yeah.
See, that's how like whacked out I am right now. Like I'm no sleep. Like, and I'm normally just, I'm wild, man. I mean, I've been in entertainment my whole life. I've basically been an entertainer. I've dealt in the art world. So like, I'm normally like, I just say whatever the hell comes out, and I like to have fun. But I definitely hope I take the crown for the first person who said that on one of your interviews.
You do take the
But
crown.
hey, if I end up dead tomorrow, it's your fault
No,
because
no,
you didn't
no.
make that call.
Okay, JD, I have more questions for you, so you need to stop speaking so I can ask you questions, okay?
All
I have
right, all
more
right,
questions for
sure.
you. I want to know more about AnRKey X, because you are merging DeFi and eSports and NFTs into
Yep.
one. And you call this M Sports. So how is this going to
Mhm.
work? How are you merging all 3 of these things?
Well, quite easy. Easy on the front, extremely insane on the back. I mean, we're still finalizing math models on our, we have 3 types of NFTs on the collectibles line because they're all entangled with our price of our token, the TLV of our games, the prize rewards, prices of the games, everything is connected as well as the story. So the thing is, how we're merging this is basically, our games we have gamified DeFi liquidity mining, right? We've also mixed in eSports, which is very obviously they have big stadiums with physical things, but eSports is virtual teams. If you look at it, we have built in on our dashboards through our Discord channels your team members for each pool army that you play in, right? And what we really saw was that not only in the regular gaming world, but in DeFi, really the users. That was part of our research and development. I studied biological psychology as a really early age, so I was always very fascinated. And people, not only in crypto, but the DeFi people in general, were really collaborating together. We noticed on basically trying not to get scammed by the anon projects that they were investing in.
Yeah.
But we saw this like engagement with the meme culture and all this stuff, and we really saw this behavior that was untapped in DeFi, right? And virtual, and esports is already collaborative, and that ties into like social media with everyone sharing memes and stickers and making plans. So we built out this esports thing, and you're playing with your team in our interface right as you are liquidity mining, buying NFTs, all APY boosted NFTs, APY boosted in-game items. We have prize NFTs being distributed by the pools that have the highest aggregate APY. So the mixture of the DeFi liquidity mining gamification, the esports, and then the NFTs that are utilized like APY boosted prizes and boosted in-game items, this became what we saw as, because it's reward driven, money sports, right? Electronic gaming, playing for reward, right? In a collaborative virtual team based thing, right? That's kind of like I didn't explain it better, that last line. I didn't nail it with my usual, just go read our documents, you'll see it nailed perfectly. But that's what this is. It's money sports,
And
We're playing for what? What are we playing for? Rewards. So there we go, collaborative.
Yeah, the collaboration there makes absolute sense because, like you said,
Yep.
you are playing for rewards. But you do have some interesting concepts in your protocol and the utilization of smart contracts. So tell me more in depth about the automated economic logic theory.
Yeah, I mean, we don't go into the back end a lot because it's very proprietary, but we built a system in our games. There's a few parts to it. So, the automated economic logic theory is basically, we have built in self-protecting and self-balancing logic algorithms for our games, which are based on liquidity mining, right? So if you look at liquidity mining and all this stuff, and then you slap a game on it, well, then guess what? Whoever has the most money, the whale, could outbeat everyone, especially if you're playing for APY boosted in-game items or APY boosted NFTs. So, we also saw whale problems everywhere in DeFi, from even the ICO world, right? Everywhere. So we built in these logic models that are economic, that there's fair markets, and they're self-balancing through a lot of physics level math, and I'm not joking. Our architect is an ex-Yale grad with physics degree. I've used him forever in the industry. A lot of us have in our network, and we went to town for months. We still do stuff. He's still working with us. Everything is based on a lot of physics principles. You'll see that in more of the documentation. So that's really what that is. It's you have to make a game competitive, right? Otherwise, it's not a game. But you have to, because you're using DeFi principles, liquidity mining, which meaning that you're paying for things that can make you win the game. You had to balance it out. So there's many models within our system, probably about 10 different models, from randomization to depreciation, appreciation curves, different time stability things. I mean, there's tons of stuff we went through to make this game protect the users, as well as still be able to make it competitive. The great thing about us is that everyone wins in the game, no matter what. So even if you're a pool, right, that has the highest aggregate APY through a series of gamification, DeFi and NFT gamifications of boosts, the losing teams still win all their aggregated APY. They're not going to walk away with nothing. The winners are the ones that really win through a series of high value and highly rare APY boosted prize NFTs, as well as we airdrop extra prize winnings to the rest of the pool. So we've spent a lot of time on this. I know you also say a lot, but I just did, right? I can mix physics and a lot in the same sentence.
There you go. I think so. Yeah, you're definitely
another first on this interview, right? Whoever's done that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But with all of that in mind, like you said, this is very much rewards focused. It is money sports.
Yep.
You obviously have your own token, which is ANRX token, and you call that an arcade coin. So why do you call it an arcade coin? And tell me something about some of the use cases of this. Why do people need it? How does it work?
Yeah, well, first of all, people need it to play our games. You can't play any of our games or use our game ecosystem without our coin. It acts like an arcade coin because you have to purchase it and then go use it on our game. We have worked on, again, for months on a very strategic token economy, economic supply and demand and buy pressure. That really had a big pain point, man. The challenge was, because you're liquidity mining, you're just continually generating rewards in our tokens, right? And then we're like, great, we have all these features they can use and play like a game, but they're getting all this not free, but rewards, so why do they need to keep buying it? Well, we worked on a lot of things to fix that, right? We have 12 utility functions, which really come down to payments and settlements across our whole, what we call the gDEX, right? We created a brand new type of platform protocol, which is Decentralized Finance Gaming Platform Exchange, right? So it has 12 utility functions, our arcade coin, across our platform of all our games that we will continue to release, and it's based upon payments and settlements of all the boosted in-game item purchases, other APY boosted NFTs, our prize NFTs that are all APY boosted. You can upgrade prize NFTs on a 48-hour flash sale marketplace, and then sell them again. It's all the payments and settlements for our in-game items, as well as our collectibles, which that's a whole other story. We're dropping that on Tuesday, the lookbook for that, and then we're doing a big campaign on our first Genesis collectibles line drop. So it's all deals with the payments and settlements across numerous I just listed out of items, right? And then on the earnings, right, the rewards driven from yield farming, from staking ANRX, from distribution, airdrop distributions for winning teams across the board. So we have a very, very, high use case of the utility. I don't really know any company, any project out there that has 12, right? So as well, we're a very community-driven protocol. We'll distribute 25% of all our transaction fees across our gDEX to users that stake, our arcade coin users that stake ANRX. There's also a 20% quorum vote if any users in the community want to suggest new pools and new armies. That's the vote in the 24-hour period in our governance channel on our game instruction site that's about to drop in a couple weeks. As well, the 20% voting quorum from users is also because we have a development allocation on our tokens, or arcade coins, for community developers, right, to build dApps on our platform. So we've already started building out really high-end API and SDKs, so it's easy for these developers in the community to just plug and play into our platform. You know what I mean? And they'll first plug and play, showcase it in this little showcase area, and then the community will vote between 24 hours if they like it or not. So, and then it can go into another round and keep going in. We do it about 5 times. If it gets denied the 5th time the game, we don't want to be harsh, right? Yeah, then it just doesn't get accepted, So
yeah, it definitely sounds like it's very community driven, and I think that's one of the most important things in this space, because that's often, I think, what people sort of miss out on, and I think that's sort of one of the things that people really value, especially when they hold a token and they're actually able to, vote on things or have a say in whatever it is moving forward. But you mentioned earlier there are some issues, in your opinion, with NFTs and DeFi. So I think it's really important that you sort of tell me about these issues and then where you see DeFi and NFTs in the future, let's say a year from now.
Yeah, well, look, again, automated market making, genius. I mean, whoever came up with those logic models and that programming and math is a genius. But it doesn't do anything. What does it do? What's the purpose of it? People are only using it because they're getting free money. That's it, literally. And free rewards. It has no purpose. It just sits there. You just feed the monster and it gives you back. That's it. And then it's rampant with just scam stuff now. It's like, you were involved, you were around for the ICO days. This is like exponentially worse of scam shit. I've never seen stuff so bad right now. So there's no use case, but there's a genius just in this bare nascent stage of automated market making. And we saw a use case truly for this that people could use within the gamification. By gamifying it, we gave a stable use case that could actually scale and have longevity, because it serves a purpose, right? Of playing games, winning rewards, having interactive entertainment experiences, right? There's a whole other levels, as well as it fuels a system of digital art and game cards, because our collectibles line are basically like Magic Pokemon cards on steroids. We have all the power, rarity score levels, but it's built into our game economics, the derived base value economics of our NFTs and all that stuff, including our price of our token, which I think I mentioned. That's one of our most proud moments, which we're releasing, like I said, on Tuesday, the lookbook, which will break it down for everyone. And then we're going to release them the week after. We have a public sale coming out as well with DAO Maker, which did Orion, right? They're our partners on that. They're one of the biggest launch pads for public sales on DeFi. We're doing that December 7th. We're doing the NFT campaign around that, with also another incredible partnership release coming out around that.
I'm gonna just jump in because you're already sort of going through my next questions, but I really just want, tell me the partners and also who your investors are, because you guys did actually launch quite virally overnight. So go through partners and investors for us.
Yeah, we just started doing partnerships. We were just focused so much on, we raised the money, went to market, launched a lot of, built out the team, done stuff like that. We just now focused on partnerships. Today, actually, again, another like 3 hours ago, our partnership with PlasmaPay for their fiat gateway integration just was released. So they released it. Ours is coming out tomorrow. We're using their fiat gateway on-ramp to bring DeFi to the masses. A lot of the DeFi users want to stay anonymous and don't want to use a credit card or debit card because, they see that as like KYC for obvious reasons, but there's a lot of people that still want to do that in DeFi and crypto as well as in the gaming world. DeFi users are not our only user base for this platform, right? So we do have a lot more partnerships that, I can talk about this one because they're just, I don't like that. We have about 5 big ones we're in the works right now, but this one, we pretty much just closed and made the deal, and it ties in because you're the second person. We haven't even done this ain't coming out for a while, so the release will come out before, but we just decided to switch mid-development to layer 2 Ethereum. And Matic is using Matic's network, and they're going to be very big partners with us, providing all our devs resources and everything. We have a big partnership with them being announced as well. We hired some new Matic experienced devs, so we didn't, slow down. Luckily, Ethereum, it crosses over pretty quickly into Matic, so it wasn't like, oh my God, we have to redo if for instance, if we switch to like, Polkadot, right, for scalability. Mm-hmm. So we're still able to release, we're doing what we call our beta human testnet mainnet launch mid-December, which is this will tie into our investors. About 15 of the top DeFi influencers invested in us, as well as some of the funds, Rarestone, Moonrock Capital, and Definition, which is a fund out of Europe. We specifically, I'm going to be this is very important, so I'm going to kind of be ADD right now and go over here. We did not take any funds specifically or go that route at all because, as you heard, we talked about whale protection and fair economics. That's what we stand for, which I didn't really get into what AnRKey, you actually asked me before what AnRKey stands for, but this ties in because our whole entire private sale, which equaled about 1.2 million, maybe a little bit more and some change, went to the address holders only have 95% of them are only 2.5 to 5K. We put limits on everyone because we're here for fair economics and whale protection. Even the highest holder only had 15K, and that was like one person. The rest of them all 10s. So about 5 people have more than 5K, and it caps out at 15, and most of them are all 10s. No one has ever done that in this industry. No one will ever do that. Know why? Because most people are just greedy. We see this as a very long play. Okay, we're not just making money here for our token like most of the companies do. Mm-hmm. Our token is wrapped into our game right now. You know what I'm saying? So we're all about fair economics, treating investors good, and everything like that. So that's who our investors are. Luckily, all the top investors that invest in us were down with that model. They spearheaded and they believe it, so they support us heavily. So that ties into why we're doing our human testnet mainnet launch. A bunch of them are going to do these testings with us live on Zoom, very interactive, show them how to play it. So actually at the same time, we can work out if we have any pain points, right? Like we understand it great. Our devs do our games, 20 people, 30 people know this inside and out, but not everyone else does, right? So we want to give it to some other people, and why not our influencers, right? Because it's great exposure, and they could really showcase this to the market before it actually releases the power of this. And then we all have a few weeks before if we need to tweak some stuff, and then early this January, it's the full public mainnet launch.
Okay, so early January, the full public mainnet launch, as you say. So we know what's happened this year. We know your partners, we know your investors, but I want to know what 2021 is going to look like for you guys. What can we expect after this launch in Jan?
I hope I'm still alive by then.
I hope you are. I think I'm still voting. I'm still voting for one less coffee, honestly.
Dude, like literally, I cannot wait for 2021 because to get past it, this moment right now is just insane. We'll be able to start building normally fast startup Scrappy in that year. I mean, basically, we have our mobile DApp version that's coming out mid-January. We're building out our collectibles, which is we have 3 marketplaces in our gDEX. 2 are coming out in this beta version. One's the in-game one, and one's the 40-hour flash sale prize one. Our collectibles, which you keep hearing me talking about, are incredible. That will be built in the beginning of February. We're building out another gamified staking dashboard for all the partnerships that we're doing. So we've gamified these little fun games with different partners that we're working on. Our roadmap is very deep. We just have a lot of things coming out. I'm kind of spacing out right now to actually think line by line what we're doing. Basically every quarter we're releasing a new game. We already have 2 in the works that are basically done, ready to go. And then with the mobile app version, because we're built off of Unity, which is like the gaming standard, it's already going to be integrated very, very easily, right? We are actually working on in the very early stages of the architecture for a real console game based upon DeFi. It's truly revolutionary, very challenging, but it will work. We're already confident because we already worked through some pain points, and that's the really exciting thing. Right now, our games are basically like, consider them like Candy Crush, Farmville, Mafia Wars, right? They're web dApps on the web, and you're pushing buttons, you're messaging people, you're playing. It's exciting. There's things moving around, exploding like a slot machine. Very interactive with our retro wave cyberpunk glitch merger that we do that you guys have seen, or whoever watches this will see. You know.
So some incredibly exciting stuff coming up for 2021. I absolutely love your conviction. You know, and also your passion for the industry, for the space, and for art in general. So I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been really great. I will recommend one less coffee, JD, because you know we want to see this go to the best that it can go to.
Funny. Everyone's been telling me this my whole life. This is not the first time. I've been like this my whole life. I'm just nuts, bottom line. But you know, most they say, you know, what a genius is borderline insane, right? You know, I'm not calling myself a genius, or maybe I just did. But I'm just normally nuts. Yeah, and very passionate about things. Like when I do things, I'm obsessive. You know what I mean? I live and breathe this thing. You know, my whole life I've dedicated to entrepreneurial or art ventures my whole life, which is why I'm 38. Still single, no family, and all I do is work. My whole life has been like that since I was probably 16. So I guess that's my purpose in life, to drink coffee, almost die from building companies, and there you go, right? Oh, here's a better quote. True Romance, the best Quentin Tarantino he did not direct, but he sold it for the price of a cheap used car to Tony Scott. True Romance, great cast, if you don't know it, from the 90s. He brought a quote in there that was actually from the 40s, and it's called, "Live fast, die young, leave a beautiful corpse."
What was the last bit? What was the last one? Live
fast, die young, and leave a beautiful corpse.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You've never seen True Romance?
I haven't. I like Quentin Tarantino, but I've not seen True Romance.
Oh, man, it's the best James Gandolfini from Sopranos got his part in Sopranos because his supporting role in that movie. He was that good.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go. I'll have to check that out. I'll check it out if you drink one less coffee.
So we leave the interview on that note, right, with that quote, live fast, die young, and leave a beautiful corpse.
There you go. JD, thank you so much for coming on.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me. I had a blast.